Because it's a special event, it might also be
Hold on.
somebody's birthday.
It might be.
It might be.
It might be.
So we wanted to just celebrate a few things because we've missed some people's birthdays. So before we point you out, if it is your birthday today or this week, raise your hand. 1, 2. Is that it?
Over there. Right over there. That's 2.
Where's the 2?
1, 2.
Is that you, Raj? Awesome. Okay, so that is Raj at the back. Everyone say Raj. Raj.
Raj.
One more time. Raj.
Raj.
And what's your name here, sir? Tim. Everyone say Tim.
Tim.
Raj.
Tim.
Raj. Tim. Tim. Raj. Okay, we got the names. Anyone else's birthday today or next week? Is it his birthday? What's his name? Bert?
Check.
M-E-R-K. Merk.
Check.
Yeah? Is it actually his birthday? Oh, he is nodding with a big smile on his face. That'll do. We're calling him Merk because I can't tell if it's something else. Merk. Everyone say Merk.
Merk.
And to the left? Raj. To the front?
Tim.
To the left?
Raj.
To the back? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Raj Tim Merk. Happy birthday to you. Give him a round of applause. Okie dokie, the embarrassing things out the way. So we do have to cover one thing before we get into it. And that is, and this is not a finger pointing at people, we get this place for free. We put all this on for free, and these guys worked their asses off for us all. But we did have quite a few people not pay their bill last week. So 2 weeks ago, okay? Now it happens. We had 3 bills in total that were just left. These guys do work super, super hard. So I know that it sometimes does happen. So I just ask kindly and politely, if you bought something today, please do your best when you're leaving to clear up that tab, because we ain't going to have a more fairer, more beautiful world that we look for within crypto if we can't also just look after those that look after us. So can I get a yes from everyone?
Yes.
Can I get a yes from everyone?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's about it for the police side of things at the minute. So we are, just show me again who's never been to one of our events before at all. Is that it? Everyone over there has? Okay, cool. So for those that haven't been before, my name is Daniel.
Chris, what's going on, guys?
This is Chris, who helps out on pretty much everything. This is Sawai, who's been helping us with all of the audio. This is Orit. And where do we have Vadim? Vadim over there at the back as well. So for those that are not fully aware, like all of this event that you're at here now and with me speaking on stage does not happen pretty much fully unless this kick-ass dude here puts a shed load of time into things. And
thank you very much.
and so this is, whilst we've been doing these all year, this will be I've got 2 more events where I will be helping out and hosting here. They are going to continue, but before they continue, I really want people to just understand that whilst you don't hear from this guy on stage because he works his ass off and he's a bit tired, he also doesn't like being a front man. I just want everyone to know that, like, none of this would happen. All the professionalism you see, like I said last week, who's ever received like a 5 or a 10-minute voice note off someone called Chris or Miyamoto? Yeah, a couple of hands go up. When you get them, you're like, geez, that says 10 minutes. Thankfully, we have a 2x on Telegram, but seriously, it doesn't happen without him. And he always goes kind of as an unsung, unspoken hero. So please, for myself and for Chris, can we give Chris a huge round of applause for doing everything that he does?
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Guys, I love you, bro. And it's been really, really fun working this year. So we are working with the lovely Orit. Can we give Orit a round of applause? She has bravely put her hand up because not many people want to and said, I'm willing to give it a try.
150 people going 200 people.
Exactly. She's gone from like small groups on Zoom to saying, fuck, I swore. I can do this. I got told I swear too much. And I'm sorry for the 0.5% of the people in here that give a shit about that, but I am going to try and be a bit more, whatever that is. So can we give a big round of applause for helping out, because nobody would stick their hand out and do it. And it is a beauty to work with you, my dear.
And anyways, we need some feminine energy in the crypto space.
Yeah. So we have kind of like we got one rule. How many rules?
One.
Nobody likes rules, do they? We have one guideline, yeah? These events are social. So what do you think, if you're at a social event, is required? Shout it out. Questions, participation. So to have questions and participations, we kind of need to have one conversation going at once, which is between whoever holds a microphone. We have one here. We have one here with the lovely Millie. And we have one here with Ari, which will be going around. And so if you've got a question, you can just say, I have a question. So repeat that. I have a question. Put one of your arms up. Either one of them. Everybody, one arm up. I just want to see it working. That's all I'm asking, yeah? And wave it. And just go, I have a question. Louder. I have a question. All right. That's all you have to do, because you ain't going to learn more stuff if you don't ask questions, because questions give us answers. So that's the only sort of guideline we have here tonight. Just if you're chatting too much and you see someone next to you, just poke them in the ribs a little bit, because that gets them jiggling. And then we can come back to the conversation. Next week, when we have the socials, you can talk as much as you want and do whatever you want. But at these events, we do try our best. There goes all the noise as well. All right, so without further ado, why are we here? We're here to discuss. Can we move on to that? We're good? We're here to discuss tax residency, specifically in and around crypto. Now, there are some people in here who don't like tax. Give us a cheer if you don't like tax. All right, okay, that's okay. Give us a cheer if you still have to pay tax. Okay, actually, give us a boo if you know you still have to pay tax. So that tells us that there's a conversation, because if none of you had to pay tax, there'd just be silence. So I share this because whilst there are some people that don't believe in the fiat system, or that governments are here to look after us, or any of these things, a large portion of society still have businesses. If you have a business, put your hand up. Yeah, so if you have a business, depends on where it's based, but I'm pretty confident you'll kind of do some sort of tax. So we're here to have a conversation about that, because crypto is just an asset. And if tax isn't relevant to you, well done. But for a lot of the people in this room, it is a very relevant conversation. And to live wherever you're treated best, as I said in the group today, is a privileged status to do. And it'd be wonderful if we could all do that, but not everybody has that capability. So we have brought two wonderful people with us today. We have Millie and we have Bobby, both of them experts in their own field, to just open up the space in the conversation. This is not financial advice, of course, but this is a space for us to just talk openly and generally as much as we can about these conversations. So do I have your support to ask questions and to be open and willing to receive? Yeah? Definitely? Okay, we'll give a round of applause, please, for Millie and Bobby as we introduce both of them. My lady.
Hello, everyone. Maybe a few of you know me because I was giving a speech I think it was last year, and I was like totally pregnant. Like maybe some of you don't recognize me because I was like this big, but now finally I am fine again. And well, my name is Millie Arceo, and I do immigration papers for living since 14 years ago, almost 15. So I really love this job. Like, I know that people will think that I am crazy because I really love what I do, but it is a big challenge to go to immigration every day because the rules are changing every day. It's like getting, and now it's like, now this rule have changed and now we need to do it this way or this other way. And that's the things that I really like. I have been helping a lot of people, and I really wish to keep doing this. So I am here today to help you with all your questions about residencies, temporary or permanent, the new program for immigration, that is getting a temporary residency without leaving the country, And for any question that you have related to immigration, I will be happy to answer.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Millie. Give her a round of applause, everyone.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. I can't. I got way too much energy to sit down in a chair. So my name is Bobby Casey. My company, Global Wealth Protection, I do tax consulting for location independent entrepreneurs. And then I got another company. We do company formation, company structures. We take a holistic approach. We look at people's residency and their personal situation, their business, and all this stuff. So that's basically what we do. Daniel said I really didn't have time to do a big intro, so I'm not going to do any background. If you want to know more about me, Bobby Casey, and Google, you'll figure it out. I've done a ton of radio shows and podcasts, so I'm easy to find. So do me a favor. Everyone in here that is super excited to talk about taxes, please raise your hand. Like super excited, like it's your favorite fucking thing on earth is to talk about taxes. Okay, come on. No, don't put your hand down. Keep them up. Raise your hand. It's your favorite fucking thing on earth to talk about, taxes. All right, everybody, look around. Look at somebody with their hand up. These are the people that sell you extended warranties on used cars. You can't trust these people. Nobody likes talking about taxes. It is god-awful boring. Nobody likes it. I was talking to Dory. Yeah, I was talking to Dory last night. She goes, how do you look at that stuff all day? Like, what did you say? You said something like, don't your eyes fall out of your head? Or so, you said something like that. So basically, it is a boring topic, but we're going to do a little bit of background here. Basically, we're going to discuss tax and residency solutions for digital nomads. My primary expertise is dealing with entrepreneurs. If you have questions related to a remote job, that sort of thing, I can do my best to help, but that's not my expertise. I deal primarily with people that have their own business. Okay, so sorry, I got to cheat a little bit here. Yeah, I'll skip that point. No, we'll skip onto that. I got a couple of disclaimers though. First of all, who here needs answers in black and white? They need yes or no. This is how it's done. This is how it's not done.
1 second. Did someone say we can't hear them? Okay,
we can't hear. Okay. I'll hold it closer. Is
that better?
So who here needs the right? Like, if you're looking at a tax structure or something, you need a black and white answer. You need a yes or no. All right. Are you guys all German? Because you're either German or type A, basically. Either German
because
or
they're not
type
responding.
A. No, I'm saying because they're the ones that need a yes or no answer.
All right.
Because here's the situation. This is your first big disclaimer. If you are living in this digital nomad space, you better get comfortable with gray area. Okay? Are there any finance people in here? Finance people. So in finance, everything's very objective, right? You know, if I run an ROI on an investment, it's very objective. I put the numbers in, it spits out an answer. Who here is in law? Legal studies, lawyer, legal background, right? Okay. So in law, we interpret information. And if you take 10 lawyers to interpret one piece of information, how many answers do you get? 11, right? You get 11 fucking answers if you take 10 lawyers to give you an answer, right? So we're living in a gray area here. So this is why I'm telling people, this is the first disclaimer. If you think you're going to get a clear black and white answer from a tax consultant, they're either lying or selling you something. That's it. Okay. So I say that because everyone thinks, oh, well, I need a very clear answer. So, for example, you might tell me your complete situation, and I might analyze your situation and give you an answer. And then you go talk to somebody else like me, another tax guy, and he gives you a completely different one. And you think, oh, what the fuck? I got two different answers, right? But that's pretty normal, actually. One may be better than the other, but you could easily get two different answers. So that's disclaimer one. Disclaimer two, who here has been on any of the Facebook groups like Digital Nomads or Tax and Residency for Digital Nomads or digital nomads around the world. Anybody on those groups, Facebook groups? All right. So here's the thing. How many of you have seen on those groups somebody ask a question? I'm a Canadian with an online business living in Bali. What do you guys recommend? Right? You see these types of questions on here. This is my second disclaimer. Never, ever look at that answer as your answer. Okay? It's always, always, always the starting point for questions when you talk to a professional advisor. Okay? This is a big thing because a lot of people say, well, Canadian, e-commerce business, living in whatever I said, I forgot, Bali. You should do a Dubai company. And you see, that looks good. No tax in Dubai. That sounds interesting. That's cool. But the thing is, that person is looking through his lenses, his world, his lenses. Everybody's situation is different. Citizenship, residency, physical residency, and tax residency. That's two different things. So if anybody wants to ask me a question later, ask me the difference between those two. Citizenship, physical residency, tax residency, where your business is located, how you get paid, where your clients are located, where you spend time. I mean, there's a million variables in here. So I'm just kind of giving you a bit of a disclaimer to think about when you are, scanning these sites or these forums and somebody says, this is what you got to do. It's only the beginning for your questions. Okay. Next thing. All right, I'll discuss the thing that Daniel always likes for me to talk about, the tiers.
Yeah, and can we keep that microphone like touching your chin? Imagine you're stroking.
It's bad, huh?
That's good.
Like that?
That's good.
It feels weird.
I know, but it
Yeah.
sounds good.
I
Does
feel
everybody
weird.
hear him better when he's like that?
Yes.
Yeah, look at all those thumbs going up. See, they practice
I
their
seriously
arms.
feel weird like this. All
I
right.
know. Can we give Bobby a cheer if he holds his mic near his chin? Yeah. Come on, Bobby. You can
All
do
right.
it. You can do
All
it.
right. I'll do my best. All right. So I'm going to go through the different tiers. This will give you kind of a framework or a basis, maybe for some questions. So what I'm talking about is the tax system for the general concept of the tax system for a country when you are a resident of that country. Okay. So I put them into 4 tiers. Tier 1 is a zero tax country. Okay. Those are nice, right? That's like Cayman Islands or BVI or, something like that. They're almost exclusively like Caribbean or Indian Ocean islands. Okay. That's tier 1. What I mean by that is if you are we'll use Cayman, for example. If you're a resident of Cayman, that means you pay zero tax, at least the Cayman, right? So you are a zero tax resident. Everybody with me? Tier 2 is a residency-based territorial tax system. Okay, this is important. Don't forget tier 2. An example of tier 2. Who wants to yell one out? Somebody knows this. Oh God, no. Residency-based territorial tax system. Panama. Yeah, I beat you. All right, so Panama, basically, if you're a legal resident in Panama, you only pay tax on the income you earn within the territory of Panama. Okay, so you open a hotel or restaurant or business, whatever, you pay tax there. But if you're a Panamanian resident and your business is based in, I don't know, some Caribbean island, Anguilla or BVI or Hong Kong or something like that, you pay zero tax on income earned from your business outside of Panama. Okay, tier 2. That one's important if you're a digital nomad looking to kind of arbitrage your tax system. Tier 3 is a residency-based worldwide tax system. This is almost the entire world, like
Almost.
90% of the countries. Okay, basically, you're a resident of that country, you pay tax on worldwide income. There's a lot of factors that go in there. If you're German, you live in Germany, or if you're British and live in Germany and have residency, you pay worldwide tax to Germany. Now, there's some other things that go into effect there, like Cfc rules. CFC is controlled foreign corporations. If Germany has terrible CFC rules, but other countries, like Latvia, for example, has no CFC rules. So just an example. Tier 4 is a citizenship-based worldwide tax system. It's 2 countries in the world. Somebody name them for me. Yep, Eritrea, not Ethiopia, but close.
What's the second one called?
Eritrea.
Eritrea.
Yeah.
Eritrea.
So and Eritrea is not nearly as aggressive as the U.S. in this. But basically, if you're a citizen of the U.S., you pay tax on worldwide income. Luckily, there's tons of loot. How many Americans are there here? Okay.
The ones that dare to put their hands up.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. So basically, if you're an American, you pay tax on worldwide income. However, there's tons of loopholes for you. If you are an American digital nomad, it is ridiculously easy to make about 150 grand tax free, okay, including your self-employment tax. You can ask me a question on that later if you're interested. But that's kind of the threshold where it's easy. Anything beyond that, it gets more difficult. There's more complex structures like PPLIs and stuff like that. And then that's it for that. Company formation, I'll hit on that one real quick. The only thing I'll mention on company formation, people get hung up on, I get this all the time. Where should I form my company? Dubai? Hong Kong? You know, that kind of thing. Seychelles, people ask that all the time, right? Probably not. Seychelles is probably a horrible idea in most cases because the most important thing in your business, anyone? The most important thing in your business is
Cash.
yes, getting paid. It's getting paid. And most of us with businesses, especially if we're location independent, have some form of credit card payments, right? I mean, we would love to be all, full crypto, and some people are for sure. But some of us are using Stripe, PayPal, merchant accounts, that kind of thing. You'll never get a reasonable merchant account. You'll never get Stripe. You'll never get PayPal for a shady offshore Seychelles. You'll never get it for Panama. Not that anything you'd want, that sort of thing. So how you get paid, from there you work up on your company structure, okay? So these are just a little bit of things in the framework if you want to, hopefully it jogs some questions here. So I think that's pretty much it on my intro. Yeah.
So I asked Bobby to kind of do what he does over an hour in 10 minutes. And thank you very much for doing that. I know it's a lot of information, but guys, can we just give Bobby a round of applause for that, please? Because that's the reason that we do that is because I couldn't even begin to think how many different countries are in here, but like probably 10, 15 at least, all in different legislations on different tier codes. And you're all going to want to know specific stuff for your country, which is cool. But like sharing this, at least you can begin to see, well, am I a tier 2 where it's residency based, the tier 3, which is also residency based.
Residency based, but worldwide.
But yeah, but you can move. And
Residency based, but worldwide.
And then tier 4 is citizenship based. So it helps us frame so that as we're going around, because then if someone's got a question and they're in a tier 3 country, then at least you can kind of start to just group things together. And it just helps us begin the process. So crypto at the end of the day is an asset. Wherever you live, depending on your tax, you'll be taxed on that. And so we're beginning the conversation of efficiency. How do we start to wrap things and move things in a way so that you can begin your own process of being more efficient with that, whatever you want to do it in the future, whether you're getting structures or companies or run your own businesses. So we're going to open it up now. We got Millie, who's going to help with residency. So you're thinking you're already here or living here or want to live here permanently. And obviously we've got the bigger, wider conversation in and around tax.
We have one question here.
Ori, what's the
From
question?
Eon.
What's the name, sir?
Is Mexico considered tier 2?
Mexico, I would drop. Mexico's a little bit of a hybrid because if you are, let's say, if you have permanent abode in Mexico, then they would be more of a tier 3 country, okay? But if you're a digital nomad, okay, and let's say you live here part of the year, but you've got a home somewhere else, then Mexico is more like a tier 2 because more than 50% of your income must come from Mexican sources for you to be considered a tax resident.
Does that clean the answer?
If I'm just a resident here, but I make my income in the U.S., I don't have to pay tax here, right? Only in the U.S.
Well, it depends. It depends on your amount of income. You're American, right? Yeah. So it's ridiculously easy for you to be zero tax if you're structured properly. If you're up to about approximately 150. If anybody doesn't understand what I mean by that, there's the FEIE, the foreign earned income exclusion, where you can earn $108,000 if you're American, $108,000 tax free, And then on top of that, there's a housing allowance that scales based on which country you're living in. The average is approximately 40. If you have a job, it's actually only a tax deduction, so you only get a percentage of that. But if you're on your own business, you can make it as part of your compensation package, and then you can actually get it as like a part of your comp package, which is tax-free income.
A question on that: foreign earned income. So that means you're out of the country, you're out of the USA, and you're earning your income from somewhere else other than the USA. Or can you be out of the USA but still earn your money in the USA?
Yes. So by the Internal Revenue Code, source income by definition in the U.S. is, let's just say it like it is. It's where, well, as long as your business doesn't have Nexus or ECI, it's where you're physically sitting when you do your work. Okay, what I mean by, so I know where you're going with this now. Nexus is basically a physical connection to a jurisdiction. You have an office, you have a warehouse, you have employees. That's considered Nexus, which would then classify it as effectively connected income. But if you're doing, I don't know, consulting or whatever, anything kind of virtual, your source of income is physically where your butt is parked when you're working by U.S. definition,
regardless of where the person is that you're dealing with.
Right. So you could have your business can be in the U.S., every customer in the U.S., your bank in the U.S., paid in dollars, and that's still considered foreign earned income.
Does that answer your question, my lady? Yeah. Awesome. Let's keep it going. We got 2 questions over here, but the mic's at the back. Or are we good? Yeah. It's coming to you. Raise your hand if you had a question over here. Cool. What's your name, sir?
Hi, I'm Tom.
What's your name?
Tom.
Tom.
Yeah. Right.
Perfect. Go on,
Tom. Yeah, my English is not the best, but I hope you understand what I mean. We are going to travel around the world the next few years. We have right now a company in British Columbia, a Canada LLP, for the income taxes of the company, because we earn the most from Europe. And my question is, what do you think is when we are just traveling around countries and stay for a short time there, so that we didn't get taxable in this country? Is it better to have a residence in a country with territorial taxes on private income, or doesn't it matter to have one for the point after the traveling time when you get a residence somewhere else? Yeah, it's a little bit complicated.
It does. I was going to reframe that, but you got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Can you reframe it for people so that we're clear on what the question is?
Let me ask real quick. What's your nationality?
German.
No shit. All right. So basically traveling around, he's got a business in Canada, a limited partnership in Canada, and he's asking about traveling around and not having residency anywhere. And maybe it could be a good idea to become a resident somewhere in a territorial-based tax system.
Yes.
Nailed it?
And the point is, what is better for the time when you want to stay after maybe 5 or 6 years? You want to get or you want to settle somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, that's a double question. But so first question for you. You're German. Are you still a German resident?
No.
You have notified the council and basically you've notified your local council and told them you're gone.
Yeah, we still have the German passport.
I understand you're a citizen, but you notified the German, your local council, your municipality, and told them you were gone.
Yeah, right.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you've given up your residency for tax purposes. You're still a citizen. Do you have residency anywhere else?
No.
Okay. So herein lies the problem now, since about 2016, and really for the past 2 years, it's very difficult to not be a legal resident somewhere. Anybody heard of CRS, the Common Reporting Standard?
C.
All right, I know you have. We've talked about it. CRS basically is the Common Reporting Standard. It's kind of the rest of the world's answer to the U.S. version, FATCA, Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. Okay? What CRS says is it's basically additional KYC requirements that have to be maintained in the compliance departments of financial institutions. So if you do not have residency anywhere, it's going to be very difficult to open bank accounts. If you have bank accounts, it's highly probable that if you cannot produce proof of residency somewhere, they're going to close your accounts. So there is possibly some options, but you've got to bank in non-CRS countries, which may or may not be appealing to you. Okay? But it is appealing to have residency somewhere in a tier 2 country, because then you kind of have a home base, so to speak, and then you can, but they don't tax you on income earned, within that territory, right? So like Mexico would be an example of that unless you establish a permanent abode here. Georgia in Central Asia is another example where that can work, but you can't run a company there. It's a little complex. Paraguay is another option. Panama is another one where you can be resident but not pay tax, or you won't have territorial income. But you won't pay tax because you don't have territorial income. So as far as settling down, I can't really answer that for you. I mean, I kind of look at it like this. Laws change so fast. Like Millie said, this stuff is changing rapidly. You can't really make too much long-term planning decisions on this because, I mean, who the fuck knows? Like, things can change, in a year. So I would basically, like, this type of tax planning, this is not, generally, it's not something you do one time and forget it. Like, I have clients, we have annual or semi-annual calls to make sure we're still kind of on track because, shit changes, right?
Cool. Thank you very much. We're going to move on from there because I've got a lot of residency questions coming up. This guy's got a question here. Is it tax or residency?
It's a piggyback from this question. So
Piggyback. Keep it going then. And after this, we've got some residency questions. Eddie, I'll come to you afterwards.
Biggie. It's piggybacking on basically UK citizen, haven't yet renounced residency, got my Mexican residency here. So I'm wondering a bit more about the definition of what a permanent abode is in Mexico and how, if I've understood correctly, that I could remain a UK citizen, relinquish my UK residency, be a physical resident in Mexico without being a tax resident in Mexico, as my income is from outside of Mexico. Is that understanding correct? And how do I not? I don't want to go into that permanent abode.
I got it.
Do I want to restate?
Do you want to restate?
He's no, I'll have a go at that. So he's a UK citizen, wants to remain a UK citizen.
UK and an Irish, but
It's
anyway.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, UK is Irish as well.
Careful. I'll see you at the bar.
I know. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say. I'm thinking Northern Ireland.
Discuss this over beer.
Apologies.
I love you.
I made these mistakes with Scottish friends a long time ago, so I stopped saying English. And they were like, "You mean the UK?" And I went, "Yes, I do." So I tried inclusivity there. So you want to retain that, whilst at the same time looking at being a permanent resident here in Mexico, and find through what Bobby's just shared there, because your source income is overseas, then you don't pay tax here in Mexico on that income.
That would be a dream, yeah. At the moment, I'm thinking I'll stay here and get a Mexican passport, but maybe that's a dumb idea. I don't know.
Well, let's have a see. This will be the last taxi question for a little bit. Bobby?
Okay, so UK citizen, currently UK resident, you just got Mexican residency. Where's your company registered?
There's a US one and a UK one.
Okay, so UK limited company or a partnership?
Limited in the UK, which I'm not actually trading through unless I want to. Trading currently through a US LLC. Okay,
so the UK limited, kill it. You don't want that. That's too big of a connecting factor for you as a UK citizen and currently a UK resident. You need to minimize connecting factors back to the UK. Otherwise, the HMRC is not going to let you go. Beyond that, keep your UK citizenship. I'd push everything through the US LLC. And then, are you making your permanent abode in Mexico?
Should I?
let's assume.
I don't
let-
know.
What-
let-
yeah.
Are you offering to be neighbors?
let's assume. What's your name, brother?
William.
Let's assume William is for a moment.
Okay, so this is where we dive deep into the gray area, because if it is your permanent abode, you don't have any other possible place you could call home. Whereas theoretically, you could always call the UK home. This becomes a gray area thing here. But if you literally have no other abode and you're claiming Mexico is your permanent abode, technically now it's a tier 3 country and you would be taxable on worldwide income here. But see what I mean? See what I mean in this gray area thing? You're a UK citizen, so technically you could always claim, that's a secondary home. And now, because of your income is not more than 50% based from Mexican sources.
Williams just messaged me. He's changed his mind. He's not going to make Mexico his permanent residency.
There's no way he messaged you. I was looking at him in the
honestly,
eyes while he was talking.
he did.
That's complete
He used
bullshit.
his Siri voice, so he telepathy. So he just said no, he doesn't. Is that right? You said I don't want to live here permanently now.
It's an Irish thing.
He said exactly. Yeah, I get it because I'm from the UK. So, given
you
that,
get a
then
break
would that
anyway.
be much simpler?
Okay, so if you do not claim it as your permanent place of abode, super easy. Yeah, you could do it with you wouldn't pay tax here because your source income wouldn't be here, and this wouldn't be your primary place of abode, right? Now, and then you would have residency. So you'd have physical residency. Technically, you wouldn't have tax residency anywhere, though.
And is that a problem for the UK?
No, not for the UK. It is
God
a problem for
bless.
some countries, though.
So let's just talk. Well, hang on. We're going to come back to that.
everyone. It doesn't matter your nationality, it doesn't matter how many times you have been in Mexico. My recommendation here is that first of all, even if the immigration agent don't ask you how many days you're going to stay, show your return ticket, show your reservation, Airbnb, contract, whatever you have. If you have booked a tour, that's something that I really recommend. At least book 2 tours, even if you cancel it later, just to show. You see, I am going to dive in this place in 2 months, or I am going to Iscaret in 3 months. And the other advice is that you say exactly how many days. Don't say 3 months. Say I am going to stay 88 days. Yeah, specify the days that you are staying. Another thing, another question that I receive every day is like, can I extend if I got less than 180 days? And the answer is no. You cannot extend your tourist visa if you got less than 180 days. But if you have a visa with 180 days, and if the program continue, you can extend for another 180 days. Another important point.
Sorry, well, I didn't get that last bit. If I have a visa for 180 days and it expires, I can extend it another 180 days. How?
Yes.
How? Without leaving the country?
Without leaving the country.
How do you do that?
In immigration, but everything is under appointments, and the next appointment available is the middle of February, and you know that a lot of things could change between now and February. So just that you know, that's the typical questions that I receive, like maybe 200. So if someone here has sent me a message and I didn't answer, I am so sorry. I have so many messages asking me the same questions or asking for information.
So if someone has a visa that's 50 days, let's just say, and they can arrive immediately, they could book an appointment for February and get another 50 days, or is it only if
No.
it's 180?
Just is this 180 days.
Right.
If you
okay.
got less than that, not possible. Actually, as an experience, as a personal experience, I was away with my husband 2 months ago, and then when I was entering Mexico through the international line with my husband, who is not Mexican either, we were talking with the immigration lady, and I asked, what's happened when a foreigner or a tourist come without a return ticket? At least the one that was attending me told me they need to buy in front of me a return ticket. And did they ask you? No. That's another thing. If you're lucky, they won't ask you anything and they will give you 180 days. But you never know, really. It depends on the mood of the agent, really. If it's Saturday, Sunday, it depends in the moon, on everything. Let me see. What other question I am getting very
Immigration.
often is like, okay, before that anyone asks something, I have been giving talks to a lot of groups, especially from Canadians and Australians and UK people, that they are asking me, where can I do my residency if I don't apply for the program here in Mexico, but I am not vaccinated and I need to go to a Mexican consulate? Of course, I always recommend US because that's the best Mexican consulate. But now, if you're not vaccinated, you cannot go to US. So everybody's running to the borders like Guatemala, Belize, Colombia. As Javier asked, he said that he's going to visit Panama. For example, Panama was like amazing to do appointments and everything. But maybe the Mexican consulate see that a lot of people were coming, that they were already in Mexico and they were going there. So now they have a new rule. If you don't have a residency in Panama, for example, if you are a foreigner, you cannot apply in Panama anymore. The same with Miami. Miami is super easy. They are easygoing. But if you don't have your bank statements in Florida, now they won't accept it. So things like that are happening. So where can you go? It's about to check. Check. I was talking with someone here that told me that he was going to Colombia, and just 2 days ago, now they're asking for the vaccine book. So you don't know really what is going on. And I really cannot tell you, go here, because maybe tomorrow they change the rules to enter that country. I can help you, like guiding you. in what to do, what papers to bring, everything. But I cannot tell you where exactly to go if you are not vaccinated. And another question that everybody asks me is that true that in order to apply for a temporary or permanent residency, do I need to be vaccinated? No, that's not true. Like even a lot of people, a lot of immigration agents in the immigration office, they are not vaccinated. So it's not a problem. Whatever you hear, not everything is true. And now I am going to leave the time to answer questions because I know that a lot of you have some questions.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Cool.
No.
We got one at the front here. Start at the back there. We'll take 1, 2, and then 3.
I'm one.
What's
Yeah.
your name?
Tobias.
Tobias. Hi, Tobias.
My question is first, how can I escape the smartest way the taxes? My situation, for make a picture, I have a company in Germany with fixed employees.
Tobias, can I just stop you there? We're going to come back to tax in a minute. I just want to stick on residency for now, or unless it is a residency.
Okay, it's maybe a thing of both.
You
because
want
I want to leave from Germany complete and escape the smartest way from the taxes. So in my
it's a tax question.
so it's the most
The answer
tax.
may have Mexico in it, but ultimately it's not a residency question. Who's got a
Okay.
residency question?
Okay.
1, 2. Ari, how fast can you run? You go on here. You go over there, Ari. We'll come to you first. What's your name, my love?
Oh, my name's Amanda. I'm just curious. I haven't been here traveling, that extra trip between 2018. So it's my first time in Mexico. My visa's up in 3 months. Just wondering if I wanted to get the 4-year, how to go about that.
So you work here in 2018.
No, not
It's your
here.
first time.
First time.
No, not a way to apply.
Can't get it at all.
Even on the black market, no.
Straight answer. I have heard on the black market that you can.
Well, I
Just
will tell you
saying.
something. A lot of people I know, and actually I have a lot of clients coming to me asking, someone is offering a permanent residency, and maybe a few of here has buy that permanent residency. I just want to let you know that I know, of course, I know everybody there, and I know people that do it. But when people are selling you a permanent residency without leaving the country, basically what they are doing is like making a fake birth certificate of a Mexican child, and that will be in your record all the time, like always. Maybe that's more expensive. Well, just that you know, if for some reason you get catch, it's a federal crime.
Millie. Hey, Millie. My name is Joseph. I'm from Austria, and I am at the moment in conversation with the Mexican embassy in Austria. They are very unhelpful, very unfriendly.
As all the consulates.
Yeah, I'm a resident in Cyprus, and they told me go to Cyprus, which is actually they have the embassy in Greece. But anyway, and so I asked them, what is the ways to apply for residency? Because there are certain schemes like educational, I think, if you have property above 5 million pesos, I think. And they did not answer my question and just told me, go on a tourist visa. And I told them, guys, that's not what I asked you. So could you answer the question, what different schemes to apply for residency are there?
Okay, yes, there are a lot of ways to apply. So the typicals that I always recommend is applying with bank statements. If you have bank statements with savings or investment, not crypto, I am sorry. I know all the time people ask me, can I use my crypto? But unfortunately, the consulates are not accepting crypto or any kind of that investment. Yes? Are you sure? 100%? Just Bitcoin.
Yeah. His question was, El Salvador accept crypto as residency? Well, only Bitcoin, though? Is that what was just said?
They made it a legal currency.
That's
But
true, yeah.
Honestly, I think that soon is going to happen because like crypto is a big thing, and suddenly they will start accepting this. So basically, to answer your question is like with savings, or if you work online.
How much savings?
Okay, I will start with the lowest one. if you work online and you can work anywhere on the world, you need at least 2,100 US dollars per month as a salary, and just to prove that you can work anywhere on the world. That's it. But of course, all the amounts that I am giving you, it depends from consulate to consulate, because everything is based in a law in how we get these numbers. But then it is like the currency of that place that it will make difference. You will see that maybe in some consulate they ask for less, or in another like it's like much higher. It really depends from the consulate. Normally, when clients ask me, I want to go to this consulate, I go on the page of that consulate and I check exactly what is the amount that they need. So one is like if you work online and you receive that amount as a salary. Second is if you have savings for around 36,000 US dollars as a balance. It doesn't need to be that you are earning that money every month. It's just that it needs to be at least when the month start and when the month end. With a property in Mexico, the property in Mexico, it needs to have a value of around 207,000 US dollars. If you invest in a company.
Millie, can I just stop you there? With the income, let's say, so you said like 2,500 US a month, yeah? So 25, 30,000 US a year. If someone had 10 grand coming in every quarter, would that still meet that? Are we talking it has to be monthly, or are we saying $30,000 income per year?
Well, what the consulate want to see is months per month.
But what if you work on contracts and people pay, like, you don't, if you've got lots of clients paying every month, you can see that. If you do big projects that are 6 months, you might get an upfront payment and then a final payment. So then what would happen?
Well, it depends for the consulate.
Of course.
Some of the consulates may accept it. Others will say, no, for sure, no. I want to see your monthly income for the last 6 months.
And each, rather than 30,000 for the year, they want to see each month being 2.5 or 3,000.
Yes. Every month, every page of your bank statement, you need to print it and bring it.
Okay, but that's down to the
But
consulate.
depends what way you're applying. If you're applying because you are retired, you just show 6 months. But if you're applying because you have savings, it is 12 months.
So if I wanted to, on that basis then, and I'm asking because in my use case, the payments are sporadic. Yeah, so having something that's consistent is more difficult. But if I wanted to come here on a retirement visa, so long as I've got income for 6 months, that's okay.
Yes.
And I could apply for a retirement visa.
Well, it's not retirement. It is called like temporary residency without permission to work.
Okay, but then legally speaking, I shouldn't be then working.
Well, if you apply for that visa that you still work online, that means that you are coming to Mexico to live but work online.
What if I don't get paid? What if I work for free?
As soon as you have your residency, it doesn't matter if you work anymore. Because next year, when you renew, they are not going to ask you, oh, show me the letter of your employment. So as soon as you have your residency, basically you are in the other side.
So basically, so carry on then. So we're talking about all the different ways to get over the fence. Once you're in the fence, you just go.
Yes.
This is like escaping from prison.
Yes.
Yeah. Once you get over the fence, just go.
Actually, something that happens often is that people get married, get temporary residency for 2 years. Then when you marry a Mexican or a permanent residency, after 2 years, you become permanent. And then you see a lot of divorces happening when they are permanent. And that's it. They are permanent and no one can do anything.
Millie?
I will give you a contact later.
Okay, so I interrupted you before. We do have some questions, but you were just moving on to buying a property. This came from Joseph's question on all the different ways.
Yeah, I would like to ask the question that you said before. Either you have a monthly income of 2,000 or you have more than 36 in the bank account. And is that different forms to fill? Is different to apply, or it's basically the same form and you just like the way how you show them your financial viability is different? The form is different and the visa is different, or it's the same?
Sorry, I didn't understand the question.
I'll repeat it. So whether he's doing, whether he's going to show monthly income, or whether he's going to show 12 months of savings. Is it the same document that he completes and goes there? He just provides the information, or is it a different residency option?
Well, basically, what I want to see, for example, if you apply with because you work online, you just need to prove 6 months. But if you're proving savings, 12 months. But basically, in every consulate, it will be the same paperwork. In the difference that some consulates will accept just like printing papers, while other consulates will want that you go to the bank, get a stamp in every page, a letter from your bank saying this person it has been client since this year and he has the monthly balance of this amount.
Millie, which consulates accept the bank statements?
The normal one?
The one that doesn't require everything.
Well, I will tell you my 4 favorite consulates that even for people that are not from that country, they accept it without notarized or anything.
I hope everyone's listening.
And but the problem is that all of them are in US. And it's, well, just in case that someone can go, is Las Vegas, Houston, Dallas, and Laredo. Are the 4 consulates that they don't require that you notarize every bank statement and you translate it into the currency of the country.
Type that in. You say them again. Houston, Dallas, Vegas,
Laredo, and Las Vegas.
Laredo.
Something important too that I want to say.
Laredo.
Something important. Maybe a few of you are trying to make appointments in the Mexican consulate, and it's a nightmare. Because like they normally all the Mexican consulates work in a platform called Mexitel, which is a really nightmare. If you call to the number, they will never answer. It will say that it's out of service. If you try to book your appointment, it won't give you the option to do a residency. So what I recommend is that you do it during the night. When you are awake, when you go to the bathroom during the night or something around 2, 3 a.m., sometimes it works. Or at the end of the month or the first day of the month, they open spaces. So don't get frustrated if you try to book your appointment in Mexitel system and it doesn't work.
Hi, Millie, I have a question. On that point, I should say that emailing the consulates directly get you appointments, because I got my visa during COVID and was rejected once and then got another visa. I'm on a temporary visa, but I'm wondering, once I have only a year, so that 4-year thing you're talking about came out just after I got my visa. Do I need to wait for my year to finish before I renew again, or can I switch to a 4-year?
I know that is very unfair because people that are illegal can get 4 years straight, while people that go to the Mexican consulates, they just get 1 year, and then you need to wait that the first year finish, and 1 month before you can renew for another 3 years. So when you have 4 years together, then you become permanent. And I know that a lot of people say, hey, my temporary residency is going to expire. I just have 1 year, but I want the 4-year temporary residency. That's not possible. If you already have a residency, you need to continue with that one. This program, it was for illegal people.
Awesome. We got another question at the... Eddie, you got a question? Yeah. Is it concise? This is Eddie at the front. I love Eddie to bits. We're getting a solid question out of Eddie. It's a skill. You got it? Go for it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Craig from the UK. I believe.
Hi, Craig.
I believe that if you was to invest £200,000 in or $200,000 into that you can get a Mexican passport within 3 months. Is that? No, obviously not. So that's wrong.
Maybe someone, as I say, on the black market can do it, but I don't know anything about.
Okay. Eddie, we're going to try you again. We've got a question at the front here. I've got it. I got it. All right, it's cool. As long as you know.
All right, it's concise, but it's also two questions. Hello.
Okay, finish.
So when you get permanent residency, how long do you have to have it before you can get Mexican citizenship?
Okay, if you want to become Mexican and you have a residency, you need to wait 5 years with your residency. Unless you are from Latin America or Spain, then you just need to wait 2 years. Or if you have, if you get your paper because you are married with a Mexican, 2 years. If you have a Mexican kid, 2 years.
Awesome. And the second question is, when you get permanent residency, are you required to stay in Mexico or are you allowed to leave? And if you do leave, are they aware of it?
That's the amazing thing about the residencies in Mexico, that you don't need to stay like in other countries, like certain time of the year to keep your residency. Here in Mexico, for example, if you get a temporary residency that is just valid for 1 year the first time, you can leave the next day that you have your residency and come back to renew and leave again. If you have permanent, you can leave for years, come back, leave, come back, and like that.
The permanent one never leaves. A quick question. When you said 5 years, you get full permanent. So citizenship. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we're talking about citizenship. So I get temporary year 1, temporary year 2, temporary year 3, temporary year.
No. Temporary 1, then temporary for 3 years.
If the program's available.
No, the renewal for temporary residencies, it could be 1 to 2 or 3 years. But of course, if you can renew for 3 years, do it. So you don't need to go to immigration
even the
every
people
year.
that have got 1 year temporary, when it comes to year 2, they can renew for a full 3 years, which means they could leave the next day and not come back for 2 years, 11 months.
Yes.
So then I'm in my 4th year, I return. Do I then get it automatically or I apply for permanent?
Yes.
And then when's citizenship?
Yes.
Immediate.
Well, just after, in the moment that you have 5 years, you can start applying for a citizenship.
So it would be in my 5th
well,
year.
Yes.
1 more year then.
Yes.
Okay.
No. In the moment that, well, yes, when you have 4 years, 1 year with your permanent.
So I would have 4 years, I would have temporary, then 3 years. I enter my 5th year, I get permanent.
When you finish your 5th year,
Yeah.
then you can apply for
So
citizenship.
6 years and 1 day.
5 years.
5 years. Well, into your 6 years.
5.
5 years. So everyone understands, yeah? As long as
Number
everyone else
one.
understands, that's good. Okay, cool.
One more question here,
Where are you?
right here.
There. Hi, Arit.
Hello.
What's your name?
Marcia.
Marcia. Hi, Marcia.
Hi. So rewinding a little bit, when you say you need to show your bank extraction, like your money that you have in your bank, what are we talking about? Is this personal bank account or is this your business bank account if you are your own employee and director?
Well, you can show your personal bank account. It is in your name. The most important thing is that your name is on the bank statement. For example, if you are married and you have a joint account, they will ask the double that the law require.
Right.
But if it's a company, like you own a company, you need to prove that it's your own company.
And that would serve as evidence.
Yes.
But because for tax purposes, I would receive a minimum amount in my personal account.
Ah, I understand.
That wouldn't be enough. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
But
fine.
you can apply with your company.
Yeah. As a director with your name. Yeah. Cool.
Or maybe you can start giving you money in your personal account for 6 months.
Okay. Okay.
And on that question there, you said if you're married, you have to double it. So you don't get any better benefit financially. If it was 30 grand on my own and I'm married, I have to show 60.
Well, this most likely works for people that want a permanent residency. Because, for example, if you want a temporary residency and you have like 50,000 US dollars per month, one can be the, like, let's say a couple. The wife, of course, I would say the wife get like the main residency, and the husband can be dependent from the wife. So in that
That's the way
case,
it is anyway.
yeah. In that case, you don't need to show the double because one will be like the main one and the other one will be dependent. When I mean the double is when you want to apply for permanent. Because if you have for permanent, they require like 135,000 more or less US dollars per month. If you have
Per month or per year?
per month, as like savings for permanent.
Yeah, but if savings is different to per month. I need to have a bank account with 135K in it, or I
Yes.
need to have an income per month of 135.
Savings, not
Okay.
income. For example, one, like normally that happen very often. The husband get the permanent and the wife get temporary because they don't have the double of that amount that the law require. But let's say that they have 200,000 US dollars. So one will be permanent and the other one will be temporary, which is fine too.
Okay. And then for what if you're not married but you're partners for years?
In the Mexican consulate, it doesn't matter.
That's two people.
Yeah. Here in Mexico, it matters. If you want to apply and you are not married, we can do the process, but you need to get a judge, a familiar judge in Cancun. And it's super difficult to get a paper that it says that you live in common law.
So what if you applied and you've got 150K in the bank and you apply, and it's just me applying, and then a week after your partner applies with the same documents because you both are joint, both names are on the document.
Exactly. If are both names, even if you apply separately, that's it. It's just like they will divide that money between two.
So if when you generate the statement for a joint account, if it says one name, that's okay.
Yes.
I hope that's useful. Okay. Divorce. I don't think
Another question.
don't think my partner wants that right now, or ever. Okay, cool. So
Another
we're gonna
question right here.
Okay, this is the this is a last residency question. Then we're going to come back to Tobias's question.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. My name's Kiki. I am an Australian resident, and I was just wondering two questions. Number one, how much does the 4-year visa generally cost? And number two, I earn about 1,500 US per month. I'm only working full time, so would I still be able to get it?
Okay, the program, just the government taxes are 13,129 pesos. Of course, next year, if the program continue, every year the taxes raise a little bit every year. So right now it's like 13,129. Yeah. All the lawyers and facilitators, we charge between 5,000 until there are people that are charging for the same thing, $2,000 or depending. Okay. And with the amount that you say that you earn per month, if it's less than the law require, even for $1 less, they won't accept it.
Okay, gracias.
8:40. Okay, so it's 8:40. We've got 20 minutes. Eddie, I can't at the minute. We've asked, I've got other questions. I will come to you if I can. It's okay, it's cool. I'm framing 1 second. So we got 20 minutes left because at 9 o'clock, pretty much, if you were here last week, this place and that place kick off with a really big live band. So we do try and wrap it up. So we're going to try and do some rapid fire. That means like super concise because we've got a few announcements to do at the end. So I'm just curious. If you have a question about anything, residency or tax, just raise your hand so I've got an idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tobias, you're first. 6. Anyone else with any other? 7 here. 8. All right, cool. So these 8, that's what we're going to try and get through. So when you've got it, try and say if it's residency or tax. You got like a minute to say it, to think about it, and then we'll come to these guys. So, Tobias, you're up first. Hit us with the question, man.
Yes. So a tax question then again. For example, I have a company in Germany with employees, with fixed employees, but I want to leave. I want to go abroad with my residency, and when it goes with the company. But I guess about the fixed employees, they sit in Germany. It's a startup, 100% remote engineering office for carpenters. And they work all from their home office together. And now I worked with a consulting, and they told me maybe the best is make a GmbH in Germany, like an LLC in the US, go with the residency to Cyprus, make what is it? A limited company in Singapore as a holding, more or less, that they can write each other invoices. But now it's my question though, because normally I want, so I'm really familiar with the source from Christoph Heuermann. So the non-residency. So that's the question then. How is the smartest way to escape the taxes?
So that's the question.
Yes.
At the end.
Yes.
Okay. So everyone take notes. Stories are good. Questions are better. Tobias, thank you.
Smartest way. So there's no way to answer your question in a concise way because you got a lot going on. I could tell you if it were me, the smartest way, close the German company, open a company somewhere outside of Germany with a pass-through taxation and pay them as contractors. That's what I would do because that German company is a pretty significant connecting factor to you, to the German tax office. It's going to be a bit of a hindrance for you to give up your tax residency in Germany. You might be able to make a case if you had a GmbH and you did have that Cypriot residency, but you're still going to be paying company tax. There's better options for you, but I don't know enough details about your company to tell you like if that's exactly the right thing to do or not. Maybe you need to have a German company, but you're telling me they're fully remote. If it were me, I would have maybe a U.S. company like a Wyoming LLC and have them work as contractors through that.
Cool. Thank you very much,
Okay.
Bobby.
Thank you.
Keep it moving down. We've got two questions here. William, yeah, go for it.
Thank you, man. Tax question. I'm looking at which ways will trigger me to become a permanent abode. One would be if I got the passport here, does that make me a permanent abode?
Not necessarily, because residency and citizenship's two different things.
Awesome. Okay. What would trigger me into permanent abode?
If you had citizenship here and you lived here all the time and you didn't have another home or another place you could call home, then it would be your permanent abode.
Got you. Okay. Thank you.
So in your case, UK. If you could claim UK, or let's say,
would you have to prove that you have a house there or a residence? A residence.
I mean, okay, we're into gray area stuff here because how do you prove to the Mexican tax office that you actually have a home in London, right? You know what I mean?
I think you understand.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going to move on
Great.
from there, William. Thank you, Eddie.
One quick, concise. Am I a residency concise? Am I illegal? Yes. No.
What?
I came in on two separate passports to get my Mexican residency. The first was on the Irish passport. The second was on my UK. The lawyer said that she could do some magic because the Mexican system wouldn't recognize me. I paid her a bit of money. I got my residency.
What do you mean to get on the program?
I came in on the first visit in 2000 and whenever it was on my Irish passport. The second time earlier this year, I came in on the English passport. And I'm the same one human. I just came in on two different passports because I felt like being Irish one day and I felt like being British the next. Happens.
We can check. Send me a picture of your two passports and I will check.
Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Eddie at the front. Oh, no, there. Go for it.
Hi, hey, Joey is my name. So I'm curious about like if you're 100% a trader. I'm from Canada. I want to get my residency here. And if you're in full income or you want to claim your full income back home, it's 100% capital gains. How would that work being here, or what would be the best approach?
You want to claim your income in Canada?
I don't know. That's what I mean. Like moving in full time as a trader.
I would certainly hope not.
No.
Yeah, I would give up your Canadian. Have you contacted the CRA to give up your resident status?
No, I'm still.
There's like a one-page form you need to file.
Okay.
In Canada, you can file this one-page form, or you can like kind of just fuck off, and eventually they like kind of scrape you off the books, so to speak. But I think filing the form is a much better way because you have like a clear date. And if there's ever a question as to, do you owe tax for this period or not, you have, see this piece of paper, I filed it right here, January 1st. So I think it's much easier to file the document with the, it's a one-page document. Basically, you're telling them you're leaving, you're gone in order to give up your residency in Canada, no primary residence, no business, no job. You can have a home property if you own a home or something. It can be a secondary property, although it gets a little bit tricky. Better to rent it out or Airbnb to show that you've got some income. If you had income, then you would need to pay tax on the income from that property alone in Canada, but you would still be out of the tax system for, the rest of your income. So as a trader, I don't know, crypto trader, stock trader, options trader, options, stuff like that.
Forex.
Yeah. So most likely your best case actually would be to trade through a U.S. LLC. I do Wyoming mostly for most of my clients, but some people like Delaware, some people like Florida, whatever. But like open a brokerage account in your Wyoming LLC's name, because then you won't have any automatic withholding based on your residency status, and then so they won't withhold anything on your LLC because your LLC will have its own tax ID number and it's a U.S. legal person.
And I can just do that.
Yeah,
no
you can totally do that. Like it's a weird hack, but the U.S. is by far the biggest tax haven in the world, just not for Americans. Yeah, the U.S. is by a huge margin the biggest tax haven in the world, just not for Americans. So you could actually just trade your brokerage account. I mean, it's completely legal, completely tax free.
So just open an LLC up in Wyoming.
So we're gonna wrap that one up there
Just
because
so I
we got
understood
others.
that. Yes,
Sorry,
Nice.
Sorry, dude. Thank
I'll
you,
talk-
Joey. You can talk afterwards. Bobby will be here as well. I want to reiterate something Bobby always says, by the way, or tell me if I'm wrong anyway. For the majority of the people, if you're looking to be tidier and more efficient in your taxes, get your taxes out of the country that you were born in and you're resident in. For most people. You've said it 3 times tonight. Like wherever you are, stop earning there.
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on the country, but most countries, if you're earning in the country, it's too big of a connecting factor to the country to give up your tax residency.
Cool. Eddie, shoot. Go for it.
Hello, hi. This is a question for U.S. citizens that are concerned about double taxation if they take permanent residency or citizenship in another country such as Mexico or El Salvador. If they decide to do their banking in other countries such as Mexico or El Salvador, you name it, would the U.S. even know about their banking relationships in other countries? Is there a communication between the countries?
100%, yes. It's called FATCA, the Foreign Account Tax Compliance Act. If you are an American, basically any bank in the world that conducts business in U.S. dollars has an obligation to report back to the U.S. Treasury Department about any U.S. persons that have bank accounts in that in that bank. So basically, if you're an American with a bank account at well, I'm picking on Germans again, but you got bank account at, if you're an American with a bank account at Deutsche Bank has a legal requirement to report your account information back to the U.S. Treasury. Now, little tidbit, you didn't ask this question, but this is for non-Americans. Little tidbit here is all of those information exchange agreements with the U.S. that are unilateral, so the U.S. doesn't report back.
What about citizens, though?
I just said hint.
We're gonna hold that there. You can chat to him afterwards. Eddie, we've got 4 minutes. We're going to more people. 1 question, guys. We've got 3 over here. Can we get a mic to them quick? Okay, Orlo, go for it.
How do I set up an appointment with you, and how much generally would it cost for me to go through whatever system it takes to get you to do my taxes?
So I am not an accountant, not a CPA. I don't do taxes. I have CPAs that work for me. I do the work before you get a CPA. I help you set up the structure to optimize it, and then the CPA does all the ticking the boxes and making sure you get the right deductions and all that stuff. As far as how much it costs, my God, I have no idea, because it depends on how much work we got to do. And if you like hourly, I have a membership program where members get 30-minute consultations as needed. So,
what's the average cost, would you say, for someone, let's just say from America, on average, to the nearest 2,000 to set up basic structures?
So for an American, probably looking around $4 or $5 grand to do everything.
There you go. Does that give you an idea?
On average, but my God, I don't know.
Of course.
Your structure could be more complex or something.
That's cool, but it's not 15. On average sort of price, $4 to $7 grand, let's say.
Something like that, yeah.
Cool. Okay, we got a bit of an idea.
I mean,
Okay.
I have had Americans where it was like 40, but they had very complex situations.
We had a couple more questions over there.
That's a question for Millie. For the visa renewal after the first year, what are the requirements? Do you also want to see the bank account again, or how does that work?
The renewal is very easy. It is just basically paperwork that we need to do, but you don't need to prove again bank statements or anything.
Okay, and it's like they give you 3 years, because I heard from a friend in Chiapas that they gave him just 1 year and 1 year and 1 year.
It depends from the state in Mexico. At least in Playa del Carmen, we're very lucky that they can renew for the maximum of years that they can. But yes, some immigration offices, they just do it year by year.
Okay, and for example, if I'm registered in Oaxaca, can I just come here and do it here, the renewal?
Yes, but we will need to use an utility bill from here.
Sweet, thank you.
Cool. Thank you very much. One more question over there, guy with the beard. Oh, John, quick, and then it's definitely going to you, sir.
Yeah, for the FEIE form, I've heard that the IRS has some, that it's not simply a done deal by filling that out. There's some scrutiny that they do with that in terms of deciding whether somebody's approved for that or not. Is that the case?
I mean, you just file your 1040 and what other schedules you have, and then you add the 2555. You write your income in, your housing expenses. That's it. Just another form.
Have you ever seen them turn somebody down for that from in your experience?
No.
Okay.
No, you also need to understand the IRS has been on well until this year, but they have massively laid off people, and they laid off people that were higher level with more experience. So actually now, if you have a complex situation in the U.S., your chance of getting audited is like less than 0.1% now.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Guy with the beard there. What is your name, sir?
I'm Pierre.
Pierre, go for it.
Can you talk about the exit tax for Canadians? Like, you have to pretend that you have sold all your assets, like crypto, before like leaving your Canadian residency?
You mean if you're giving up your citizenship?
No, not citizenship, like residency. Is it my understanding that when you give up your residency in Canada, you have to pay the exit tax, basically as if you sold all your assets, like whatever, like house, boats, crypto, whatever, or does that imply crypto as well?
Yeah. So I just to rehash, my expertise is helping people get out of their situation. That is actually a question you would ask for your Canadian accountant when you're leaving. I would help you set up a structure and organize your situation for leaving Canada. But internal stuff in Canada, I'm not. I don't know the answer to that.
I'll contact you later then. Thanks.
All right.
Cool. Thank you very much. We have time for one burning question. Lady at the front, if we can get to you in time. This will be the last one.
What about paying taxes on cryptos in Mexico? Why has nobody asked this question yet?
It's a good final question. Well, first of all, you got to be able to pay tax in Mexico.
But what if you have cryptos and you make money? And for example, Bitso, it wants your RFC, your tax number. Do we have to pay taxes on it? Is it?
Well, wouldn't
do we
it
know?
depend if, first of all, you're a tax-paying resident in Mexico?
Right. You would have to be a tax resident of Mexico.
Well, let's assume we are.
So if you are a tax resident of Mexico, then you pay. It's like Daniel said earlier. It's an
gains.
asset. You just pay capital gains tax on it.
But
if you are getting paid in crypto, like if somebody's paying you a consulting fee, then you would have a conversion at the point where you're paid, and you would pay tax. You know, it would be like attributed as pesos.
But
at
I'm just
that
going to
moment.
bring William into this. If you're here and Mexico is not your permanent abode, and you can show that you have a house somewhere else, then you may also, because crypto would be considered foreign income. So then you wouldn't pay tax. So it's not like all with tax answers. There's never like one answer. If you're a permanent resident and you live here and you want to live here and you don't leave, it's an asset. You pay capital gains. But if you can show that you don't have Mexico as your permanent abode, then you're in this gray area again where you probably
Correct.
wouldn't pay tax on it. Does
Yes.
that answer?
Yeah, Mexico's this kind of a hybrid, because if it is your permanent abode, then it's more tier 3. But if you're in this digital nomad space where you're living at different places, it's not your permanent abode. So then you have that situation. We're finished, right? So last thing is, if you're feeling this moral obligation to give away all this money, you can pick up bar tabs.
We have 3 from 2 weeks ago that still need paying.
You could. My bar tab is available to be picked up if you feel that moral obligation to throw money around.
Cool. I also, like, for me and my partner, we choose to give 15% tax. We give 5% to wherever we live, to charities. We give 5% to Panama because that helps us with structures, and we give 5% to the world through mainly trees and helping people meditate. So we have a self-imposed tax for ourselves because I'm not actually anti-tax. We need schools and roads and all of these things. It's my little thing to give back. So you can pick everyone's bar tab here, but you can also choose to fund the things that you fund, which nicely segues me on, unintentionally, to this. This does say tips. It's gonna, can we just put in the notes to write charity on it or giving? So the charity that we found here in Mexico to give to, just hold those right for me. They help disabled people with education and people that live on the fringe of society. And so we found them. I like to find charities that I can touch and I can feel and make sure, thank you, that I can make sure are doing what they said that they're going to do. And so what we did was we decided to make them our designated charity for these crypto dinners. And so far we have raised 7,000 pesos in the last 2 events. I would love for this event if we can tip it over that 10 mark, because me and Chris are going to go and see her next week. So these events are for free. We don't want any money, but we do ask as part of our giving back, because if you're in crypto, you can make a decent wedge. So let's just do our little bit to give it back. Ari, are you cool to pass this around? So if you feel generous or kind, please put any denominations in here, and 100% of this goes to them. And then for me and for Chris, we double whatever goes into it as well. So thank you very much. If we can pass this around. Cool. Can we have a round of applause for them as well?
Okay. Daniel, can you tell a little about what the money does? Like going from
Yeah, of course. So what we did was they could only pay for teachers 2 days out of 5 when we got to them, because after COVID, they had things cut. They rely so much on corporate sponsorships. So the first thing that me and Christina did, we were like, well, how much does it cost to get teachers 5 days a week? And that's the first thing that we're paying for, because I don't know if you've worked with people with disabilities, but it's a lot of pressure on the family as well. So getting this school back up from 2 days to 5 days was the first thing. The buildings run down. So there's quite a few things within there that we're looking to try and do to help them. So getting more staff in really helps with all the children, and at the same time, a couple of pieces of new equipment. And it's my current aim that once they're at a nice level, she's introduced me to 3 or 4 other local charities. So like, for me, I live in Playa del Carmen, and like, I mean, we give at these events, but how many people here are Mexican? 2 people here, guys. Like, we're from the whole world in this country, in Playa del Carmen. Just these 2 people. Can we give them a round of applause, please? Because we need more Mexicans. 4, there's 2 over here as well. We're even trying to think of doing one of these in Spanish one day, where we've been talking about it a little bit. So it's things like this, and I think crypto can help with that. So if you can give, thank you very much. Eddie wants a Mexican wife, so if anyone's available, he's at the front. He's very funny. Okay, so we're moving on to the finishing thing, because music's going to begin soon. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. Just remind me again, this place is called Zitla Siba. Who's never been to this restaurant before? Show us your hands. Only a couple. Is that it? Awesome. Everyone's been here. Look, this place helped us so much. So, and these guys work their ass off to serve us all night. So just for 1 second, for everyone that works at Zitla Siba in the red shirts, can we all face the back of the room and just give them a big round of applause to say thank you. Thank you, guys, because I know you put a lot of time and effort in. When you are paying your bill, when you're paying your bill, please do pay your bill. Peter, 1 second, bro. When you are paying your bill, please just be patient. They're going to work as fast as they can. Please be patient with it. And thank you. I know I promised I would, Guillermo. And if you feeling good for tipping, remember we are in Mexico. Like, people that serve and are in service, they don't get a lot. So if you're feeling generous, put 15% into the bike, because like I said, these guys give it for free. 20 if you love them, actually. Thank you very much, guys. So for the people that are on our stage today, we have Bobby and we have Millie. Give them a round of applause for all of their advice. I hope you have enjoyed it. I hope you found it really interesting. these crypto events, we have them every single week. We're going to have a big party next week. So if you like coming for a party, this is where we're going to be. Same time, same place next week. And then we'll work out the next event, Chris. I don't think we've decided on that yet.
Nothing on the schedule right now.
Okay, cool. Let me check. I've got everything. Boom, boom, boom,
Holiday
boom, boom.
break.
Okay, one last thing, and then we'll let you all go. We're going to do a group selfie for our last final event for the year. If everyone can please give us a big, how do we do that? Here we go. Turn around. We're having a big selfie. So when you get a second, in 1, 2, 3, we're going to raise our arms. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Oh, give us a better one, guys. Okay. If you've enjoyed the event, please give us a big cheer. Yeah. Awesome. That will do the job. So if you enjoyed yourself, you can stay here for the next couple of hours. We will be here next week for a party. Other than that, take care. Are we good?
Something just came to mind. Well, first, let's give Dan a round of applause. This guy, he is awesome at what he does. And for me, he's what makes it happen. You know, he brings the magic. Dan, the magic man. And the truth is, Dan will be leaving. We don't know for how long. But, yeah, it's a little bittersweet. We're going to figure it out, though. But Dan definitely set the president. And sorry. Good dude. No, I mean, I didn't expect that at all. But no, he seriously is a good dude, and yeah, one of the best I've met, truthfully. And so I was glad to have him along in this, and just hope to have him back.
It takes 2 people at least to create magic. I know one can, and they say that you know, anybody can change the world, but people start and people follow. And I got a lot of love and time for Chris. There's no one better I've enjoyed working with this year than you, bro. I really, really mean that. That's why, like, so much work goes into these events. If you've run events, you appreciate. You don't just go, hey, we're gonna just go and talk. Like, it takes a lot of work. And whatever we're gonna do, like, we're working on that at the minute. So, but events aren't events without people. And we have like what 150 people here, 200 last week. Like, something's right when people show up again. So for the people that run this space, for you guys, for me, for Chris, for Sawai, for Vadim, for Orit, the help, and for the speakers that we have today, can we give everyone one final round of applause to say thank you for tonight. Enjoy yourselves. Go home. Have a really wonderful night. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.